What's up, people? Welcome to Casual Fridays with Exec Ed. So, in episode 2, I gave a 3-minute crash course on public policy design process. So, the 5 key phases from identifying the policy problem all the way to evaluating and monitoring the policy solution. So, for those people who missed it, click on the link above to watch. So, in today's episode, I just want to focus on the word design in the public policy design process. So can we rethink about the public policy design process in design terms? So in other words, we're ahead of a product developer to solve everyday problems. So today I am so proud to host this episode with the guy who champions design thinking in our Exec Ed courses and the guy who also oversees my work in the office, the Associate Dean of Executive Ed and my boss, Francesco Mancini. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Exec Ed. Okay, so when we talk about very practical, innovative design for products, the first thing that comes to mind is IKEA.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's functional, it's practical, sustainable, good quality and super affordable. I mean, the Swedish company has always been at the forefront of design thinking. So, but I want to see sort of design thinking as a buzzword for today's public policy practitioners. So what do you think is design thinking and its role in public policy?
Well, what we like to say in design thinking is that you bring back the human experience into the design policy experience.
Okay.
And if you think about IKEA, you generally think about a piece of furniture
Yeah.
that looks very nice and it's affordable. But what people don't think is that the key success of IKEA was to find out that people are willing to build their own furniture
That's true.
if it's cheaper.
Correct.
That's the design thinking part. It is understanding what the needs are, then to design a particular service or a product.
Oh wow. Okay. So in Exec Ed, I'm gonna switch back to Exec Ed. We're all about giving people, very quick, practical frameworks about how you actually look at public policy and you can apply it straight away. So is there actually one for design thinking?
Yes, there is. And luckily, we have a graph here.
All right, man.
So, design thinking generally is organized in 2 moments. And one is the problem space.
Okay.
That's where you focus to understand the problem, right? You empathize, meaning I try to understand how you think about that particular experience. You observe, you collect data, right?
Okay.
And then you define the problem.
All right.
Right? So that's the moment where you start to understand the problem that you want to address.
Okay.
Then you move into the solution space. And the
Okay.
solution space is where you ideate, and ideate means that your ideas need to take a form.
All right.
So you actually prototype,
Okay.
right? And then you test before scaling up.
All right.
So you see that the human experience percolate across all the different 6 steps.
Is this linear?
It is and it's
Okay.
not, in the
Okay.
sense that you can go back.
All
You
right.
can prototype, you can fail. In design thinking, we say
Yeah.
fail, but fail fast.
Fail fast. All right.
And then you go back,
Okay.
right? So it doesn't have to be a one-way process, but it's a process that go back and forth until you come up with a solution that is addressing the problem you're trying to face.
All right. Okay. So I want to go back to how design thinking has sort of like a blistering track record for the private sector. So PepsiCo, Google, IBM, P&G, even like a local restaurant chain, the Soup Spoon, they all use design thinking. And some of these companies have their own innovation labs. So for the public policy folks, could you just give an example
Yeah.
on how governments have done it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, government has been a bit behind the curve. I mean, obviously
Okay.
the private sector has been more advanced. But governments, I would say in the last 15 years, have made great progresses in applying design thinking in policy design.
Yep.
And we have, labs in governments everywhere, in US, in UK, in Finland, in Netherlands,
okay.
in Singapore, Hong
Yep.
Kong, in Thailand, and so on. Particularly in Singapore, since we are in Singapore,
Yeah.
people like to mention the complete redesign of the employment pass
Okay.
center, which has been completely redone based on design thinking. But a more micro level, in healthcare,
Yep.
the Yishun Community Hospital in Singapore, which is
Okay.
an hospital in the north side of
Yep.
Singapore, has their own lab.
Oh,
And
okay.
they experience what patients do throughout their presence in an hospital, and they redesign everything. They redesign services, they redesign rooms, they redesign beds, right? So it's applying this directly. A country like Madagascar
Wow.
in Africa
Okay.
has been using design thinking, helped by the World Bank, to rethink the way they address child malnutrition. So as you can see, it can be applied across all policy areas, and it's a very successful way to solve problems.
Wow, so definitely really innovative. So I'm not saying that, at this stage the design thinking should wholly replace, existing strategies that we have in public policy, but it acts as a contemporary versus new.
It's very complementary.
Yes,
right?
it's a tool that you put the intended beneficiary at the heart of the policy design. So all you need, I would think, is a curious streak, a very creative head, deep empathy for people, and a gung-ho spirit, to always say, I want to challenge the status quo. Yeah. So do you have any last words for us before we
Well,
end?
I would say, the best way to learn design thinking is actually to do it.
Yeah.
And so we at the Lee Kuan Yew School Executive Education, we're really trying to inject a lot of design thinking in our training. So I would say, look out for our programs. In
Yep.
2020, we're going to have something dedicated to design thinking, but also a lot of our programs have design thinking in it. So I would say just go back to our website, keep an eye on us,
Correct.
because this is the place to come to learn and apply some of these techniques.
All right, man. So the website for Exec Ed is above at the link. So you know what? The sun's setting. I can smell the sweet weekend. So catch us all in the next episode of Casual Fridays with Exec Ed. Bye.
Thank you, bye.